As your lifestyle changes and your family grows, upsizing to a larger house is often the next best choice. Well, here are a few tips to help you choose. If you're moving on up and need more space, the first thing to consider is exactly how much space you really need. Are you looking for flex space, either for a home office or crafting, or do your kids need a game room? As your family grows, are you going to be hosting Thanksgiving dinner, so maybe a formal dining room becomes important? Really sit down and think about where you're at now and what your future looks like so you can make sure you choose a home you can grow into appropriately. And then I want you to consider layout. A house that has a larger footprint doesn't necessarily make sense. Just because it has more square footage doesn't mean it's going to work for you and the space that you need to grow into. For example, if it has some gigantic foyer with a formal dining room, and that's something you're never going to use, but the bedrooms are still super small, that bigger house may not be the right fit at all. Just remember, more square footage doesn't always equate to more usable space. Once you've locked down your needs and your layout, the next thing to figure out is, can you afford it? Moving up in house often means moving to that next financial level. Not only could your mortgage be more expensive, but you're also going to pay a higher price tag for property taxes, utilities, and insurance. And if you do things like lawn maintenance or pool maintenance, if there's more to it, it's going to cost you more too. Then think about location. Does a bigger house on a bigger lot mean a different part of town? And are you and your family okay with that? Would you have to potentially commute longer to work, or would your kids have to go to a different school? Doesn't mean that you can't do that, but before you make the move, you better make darn sure you know what you're getting into. And finally, I want you to consider resale value. Now, as you're upsizing into a home, if your kids are little and you plan to be there until they graduate, this might be something at the forefront of your mind. But when you're purchasing real estate, it's always something to consider, because at some point and some time, you're going to want to sell this house. So think about the location. Is it so remote that you're going to have a hard time selling it? Or is it an absolute gem that people are going to want for years to come? Think about your financial plan, because the equity you're going to gain in the home you buy today is going to affect what your future looks like tomorrow. Moving to a bigger home is a big decision. So make sure you're considering all the factors as to why you want to and where you're going to end up. And in terms of choosing your next home for upsizing, it's a great question to ask. Is now the right time to upsize? Don't miss my video where I dive into just that. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.